Before we get into this evening's live, we're going to touch base on a few different things that I find very important. As we can see, XRP's broken over the 57-cent mark. It's having a surge here as we expect. Bitcoin, no surprise once again. The only thing that I regret is not taking out a copy trade with Ethereum like I said yesterday, but unfortunately sometimes I don't pay attention like I should because I get in, for one reason or another. But right now it looks like Bitcoin's playing off this inverse head and shoulders. We talked about this yesterday until we were blue in the face. The one trade I did make but couldn't do it on the copy trading was a H-bar trade, which was a leverage trade, which, you know, it was an overnighter, and then a little bit today, which I sold because it hit to where I wanted. And now I hope it continues to rally. But looking at the way Bitcoin is, it looks like it's going to run up in time and try to push that 67K. That 60,000 is a very important level right now. And now if we can get a close over 60K, we're looking very strong. XRP being up here at 57.1 cents. It looks like to me we've all but now flipped that 2018 resistance to a new support. And now we're going to work in a melt up fashion, whether we get rejected. And I'm going to move this because we did hit the technical target. But now it's at 58.8 cents. If we break that 58.8 now, we will come up to that cup and handle resistance that should be acting as, you know, a new layer of support in time if we're about to break out. And then above it's that rising channel. But first things first, we need to get over that rising or the cup and handle resistance. This was something that I had drawn out earlier, and we are actually in this moment starting to break up from here. So if we do break up just off this short-term breakout, you can anticipate a small move up to about that 59.17, which is basically coming up, and you're trying to supersede a double top. So that's what it looks like we're going to do here, you know, at least in the early part of the weekend. Unless for some reason we melt back down and break this formation, it looks super bullish right now. Looks super bullish right now going into the weekend, and I'm very optimistic about what's going to happen. Hopefully we don't get over flooded here. I don't have my phone, so I'm going to go through the comments the best I can. Daniel C, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your second month with the XRP, or with Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Mo, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6 months plus with the XP Predictor. If I missed your comment above, I apologize, but I did not bring my phone outside today, so I'm going to have to just watch it in real time. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for XRP. So we're going to talk a lot deeper about XRP, the XRP Bitcoin pairing. You know it as well as I do. We're going to get back into commodities again today and talk about B2 Gold was up another 1.9% today, which is fantastic. I think it kind of underachieved today, but it did have a nice consolidation. First Majestic Silver is up another 5.87%. So it's been about a over 30% rally for us in the last 3 days, and B2 Gold's been over 20%, so I'm very happy about that. UK Phil and CJ2 Pilot, welcome into both of you, and thank you both for being in Tom's Arm for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Very, very appreciative of all the support through Tom's Army, and it does allow us to not have ads during the lives. The sponsors, which are Tom's Army and anybody who's ever sent a YouTube super chat, past, present, or future. Like I always say, it's because of you I don't put the ads on in real time until after the rerun. Then the ads will be back on, but it doesn't help anybody to have ads on. I like to talk to everybody in the moment. So we'll go through all of this. We'll take a look at Velo. I seen a Velo in the comment. Where's Velo at today? Velo is, let's see, up about 4.6%. Gala, I still have my eye on because it is underachieving right now, the market. And I firmly believe it's underachieving. Even H-bar, since the flip of the clock after we talked yesterday, is up almost 4%. So I think right now Gala is painfully behind, it looks like. But we'll take a look just to make sure that we're not overstepping here. Mark Caston, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Arm for 3 months plus with the XRP Meteor. Love seeing it. Welcome back, Mark, as well. And then I want to I want to read about this massive 342% surge in key XRP metric that supposedly stuns the XRP community. Rob Holkalik, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Arm for 6 months plus with the XRP Predictor. Hope you and your family are doing well, my friend. So, Let's see who else. Sammy, welcome in. Ring Thane, Jorge, good evening. Thank you all for tuning in. George and Baked in Berta. But thank you both for being in Tom's Army for your first month. And I know you're both new because you have the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And that is my face superimposed on that emoji badge. And I love that, love seeing Baked and Berta shared the Tom's Army emote. Yes, your first live. Awesome. I love seeing that. We go through a lot of different, stuff here. So it's going to be an interesting live. But I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for it. Smitty, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Wow, 3 people in Tom's Army for their first month right now. That's awesome. But let me timestamp this. Good evening. 5:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, September 13th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So if you're new, or if you don't understand what's going on, if you come in here, you'll know when XRP's hit $1 or not. I said over almost 15 months ago, let's see, July, August, yeah, we're going on month 15 now. I said I would not cut my hair until XRP at all-time highs or at least hit $1. And that was almost 15 months ago now, last July. And I've been true to my word. Same thing with the goatee. Fortunately, I can grow my hair still, but you know, by the time I can cut it, depending on how long it takes, you know, there might not be none left in the front. We don't know. I just turned 40 in December of last year. I'll be 41 in a couple months, so, you know, we'll see how it goes. So if you're wondering why I look like David Schwartz, that's why. And I washed my hair and stuff today, so the day of washing hair, I used to wash my hair like almost every day, which is stupid. And now I only do it like once every like 3 or 4 days, just especially being this long. It's a pain in the ass. Look, our friend's back again. Our B friend, I think, is back. I don't know. I think he likes our show. He comes around quite often. In fact, one stung me live on air, and then I got bit by a spider the next day, or 2 days later. And the day in between, we had a big storm live on air where it almost picked my table up. So we've got some great things happen. So anyhow, XRP right now, I'm very encouraged with what I'm seeing. Very, very encouraged. We're doing what we need to do here, but the key here is we didn't want this to turn into a bear flag. So on the other chart, I think some of you, Decoy, welcome in. Daddy's back indeed. Daddy's back. We got to keep it vibrant. We got to keep the excitement going. We got to have some tenacity and nuts in the audience, right? So it's always good. It's always good. Plus, you know, it's getting close to winter. They do tend to shrivel. Anyhow. So the chart that I'm talking about here, this is where we wanted to make sure that it wasn't forming some weird bear flag. And in the smaller time frame, I did it based in the 30-minute just so that I could get this wick. And it actually worked out pretty well. We'll see if this does indeed break up and we can break this from being just a double top and continue carrying on to that 61.3. We are in a unprecedented area, ladies and gentlemen. We are in an unprecedented area. Because for 6.5, almost 7 years now, and we know this pattern has to end in the end of December roughly, but we've been stuck under this 2018 resistance for what seems like an eternity. I think we can all agree, and thank God it didn't come back down here. We were hoping not. This is what we didn't want. So I'm going to take this off here for now. We don't need to look at that for now. We're going to look at the upward trajectory because we took the upward trajectory, which I'm very happy about. And honestly, this whole descending consolidation we can take out of here now. We fortunately broke to the top side. And getting over this now, we know we're over the 2018 resistance, which this is very interesting. And if you're new, you need to see this because you need to know what we're dealing with here. Because we could be dealing with the biggest W I've ever seen in my life. And we really could. I'm going to take some of this away. We can tell the numbers. I'll go back and put them back. But sometimes it gets clouded and I don't want that. We can look at those numbers on other charts. So 2018 resistance. That's when we had all-time highs. Now on Bitstamp, it's 331. It went up to 382 or 385 depending on exchange. So on this one, the swing high was January of 2018 at 331. It took us 27 months hit the swing low at 10.8 cents in March of 2020. That's a long time. Then in April of 2021, we hit resistance 2 at $1.98. Support 2 we hit January of 2020, or not, support 2 we hit before we hit resistance 2, sorry. So I'm trying to get through this very quickly. But support 2 was December or January 20 or of 21 at 18.2 cents, and resistance 2 April of 2021 at $1.98. Support 3 is down here at 30.3 cents in January of 2023. Resistance 3 confirmed our pattern. Mind you, it took over 6 years to confirm this pattern, because you want 3 hits of resistance and support on a structure like this. Rejected at 74.8 cents in March of this year. We got a support hit in July of this year, creating that big W reversal, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's gorgeous. This is spectacular. And that would be in July of this year. We hit resistance 4, which is absolutely brilliant, at 58.7 cents, also in August of this year. And now, when all lost seemed hope, or all hope seemed lost, I don't know why it came out backwards, but it did. See, the excitement's got me. Now, in September of this year, we could finally flip this to support, and we have a weekly reversal candle that could bring us to the promised land. And some of your promised land might be way up there, this infinite number, this number that, you know, I can't just tell you, but in time, and I'm not saying this happened, so please don't be like, oh my God. And this isn't the max that can go either. This is just this 6.5 year consolidation. What it sets up as, the technical target out of here, if it played true and everything played out properly, is $2.40. I don't make the rules, but I timed it to have a breakout near Halloween. So the fact that it happened before Halloween, that number should be a little bit higher, so I'm confident in it. So that's $2.40. Now, the interesting part about this is what happens in between. And the good news is we have this all charted out. So in between, let's say this cup and handle breaks out. Well, we would still need to get past the rising channel at 60. Oh, we're going to get to Bitcoin, my friends. We're going to get to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has a very big target as well. It's like 118,000 or some garbage. Not garbage, but some realistic target there. If the cup and handle breaks out, because we measured the base of the cup, and we're getting close. If this happens, and it's going to allow XRP to go nuts. Absolutely bonkers. If you think our commodities have made us money, you've seen nothing yet. You've seen nothing yet. Oh, baby. But we have this handle support right now, and the resistance is at 61.35 cents. But we've got the rising channel. We've got to get over about 62, 62 and a half, up to 87. Hey, we all know Bitcoin sucks, but it's still relevant to talk about. If you want to see a positive flow, you want to see Bitcoin rolling. So like if you trade commodities, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the altcoins. Like, so Ethereum would be like silver is to the silver mining stock. So like silver, we have First Majestic silver mining stock. So there's your correlation. Gold would be like Bitcoin to the ones that are directly linked to it in this, that run in similar fashion. So for like Ethereum, I look at ADA, I look at Matic, I look at Algo, I look at IOTA, I look at Doge, I look at Shiba, I look at the ones like Gala and AMP, and there's another one I'm missing right now, HBAR. I look at them to run based on Ethereum. For Bitcoin, I look at other ones. And yeah, Ethereum runs off of Bitcoin, so it runs off another one, just like silver will run off of gold a lot of times, but then supersede it in the end, as far as the percentage gain. So then for Bitcoin, you know, we watch XRP, we watch XLM, we watch DGB, and there's a lot of other ones that we could go over. We watch, actually a lot of them that we watch, ZIL, VeChain, well actually VeChain's more like Ethereum. So, but in the same way that we watch the gold and silver precious metal to give us a determination on where the most likelihood is we're going to go with the mining stocks, it's the same thing with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you always have to have your eye on the gatekeeper. And until otherwise noted, and it's going to be like this for all eternity, despite what everybody wants to think, the gatekeeper's got to be there. It has the most liquidity. Whether by virtue, whether by manipulation, whether by government interference, or whether by just plain, you know, good luck, that's where the liquidity ends up. So we need that liquidity to flow through Bitcoin. And then ultimately, think about it this way. Once Bitcoin's rally's over, everybody who's in Bitcoin who wants to get out with their gains, even if they want to stay in Bitcoin, they'll sell their profits. Where do you think they invest those? It might take its ride to Ethereum, and then after that, it takes its ride out to the altcoins. The more profit there, the more rally in the altcoins. That's how I look at it. Just like the more rally with the precious metal price, the more opportunity for the commodity stocks. So that's just my opinion. And on the weekly right now for XRP, I'm not mad. I am not mad right now. I am not mad. Some of these on XRP, you can see it a little bit differently, how it's got the big weekly reversal. Big weekly reversal. I am not mad. I am not mad. Coming off of a hammer candle, it's beautiful. So that's where we have to break up. And then let's just say we get past the rising channel at 87. Our target off of this cup and handle, the short-term one that goes back a couple years, is $1.18. So that's your first major target, is $1.18. So on 10,000 tokens, if you bought in at 35 cents on average with us, you turn 3,500 into 11,800 just at $1.18. You know, what can you do with over 10 grand? Well, not 10, quite 8 grand, but you know, but there's still a lot of opportunity here for XRP. And today I'm optimistic. I love it. This week I've been optimistic. You know, there's a lot of things that were lining up. I kept saying that the closer to the rate cut we get, it'll be, even though it's a sell the rumor, buy the news, you don't know if they're going to sell the news still. So you would have more people buying up days leading in, not weeks. So I thought there was going to be a sell the rumor style event, which happened in all markets, even gold, silver, commodities, crypto, the Dow, all of them dropped. And now the closer we get, now it's starting to look like the closer we get to it, is it really a buy the news style event? We don't know, because this could be a build up right before, and then it could be a sell the rumor initially, pile in, and then sell the news right after it's announced. That happens sometimes. So you've got to play the intermediate, and that's what we're doing right now. The intermediate called for the days leading in. Not the initial moment, not the initial announcement, but waiting until we got within arm's length and we were able to make an honest evaluation of where we were going. And right now it's just paying dividends. We've got a lot to talk about, so I want to cover the commodity stuff, because if I don't, a lot of people would be pissed, and I don't blame you. Gold right now up another 19 bucks to end the week at a new high. This is a new weekly high. It closed the highest it's ever been, and it's at, this week's close was at 2,577.57. Absolutely surreal. And it closed out on a stellar note. It closed out on a stellar note. You want to talk about a weekly engulfing? Not just engulfing after it went down. It never gave up the low of last week. It never made a new swing low. But in fact, it caught itself and it just rocketed the hell out of here. And we have a technical move. So I expect next week to get us to 26.16. And then we'll decide what happens. But that's an awfully big bull flag here that I suspect could even bring us up to 28.60. And the moment you get on top of 28.60, there's nothing. There's nothing. These are just short-term tactical moves out of different consolidations. But we went over like 45 years to finally have a breakout in gold. We back-tested the 2,395 at the time. And now we're just off to the friggin' races. In time, 4,000 is the target. That's not a made-up target. Just like when I do my crypto, it lines up. And yeah, it lines up and it checks out. So now sticking with gold, B2 gold was up about 6 cents today, about 1.94%. I'm actually a little surprised it did as well as it did. I thought we were going to be a little bit down today. Just a small correction. First Majestic, I wasn't sure, but it blew me away today, up another 5.8%. But we'll talk about that with silver, which is back over that 30-cent threshold. And I'm getting awfully close to my call option I took out 4 months ago on B2 gold. If anybody remembers, I had a call option. I got a lucky bet a long time ago, made 500 bucks on a bet on FanDuel, turned that $500, or no, $200 I made on a bet on FanDuel, turned that into a call option on silver. That matured to $500 when it hit 30 the first time. And then I took out, I think it was like 600 total, I think it matured to with everything. And I put that into a B2 Gold call option when it was at $2.40 something cents. To hit $3.15 by the end of January, or the third week of January. We'll just say the second week to be safe, of January in 2025. So this is literally only 34 cents away now from maturing. And it's early. It's early. So that could be some bucks there as well. 1970 Legend, thank you so much for the $9.99 donation. That is so incredibly generous. I can't even describe it. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for your second month as well with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. True, welcome in. Good to see you in here as well. But B2 Gold, we had the buy signal at $2.68. I came on and showed you my portfolio. We'll go over it in a sec when I rebought back in. We've had a hell of a ride on B2 Gold. In and out we go. Weekly was fucking beautiful. And we have our first hit at 332. If it gets past there and goes to 353, it's unbelievable. Because you need to go 353, back test 332, and then you'd be out. You know, off to the races up near 420. My fair market value for B2 Gold, if I'm being honest, is like $6.26, $6.28. I've been very transparent. The dividend, for some reason, is still holding. It's not 7.3, but it's still up at 6.3%. That's extreme. It's so high for this kind of a rally, too. That means that they're experiencing a better than... They're experiencing a windfall is basically what's going on in overhead. So look at it as profit sharing. So the technical target out of this already broken up pattern is 353. So that's what we're looking for in the future. And that's perfect because my my call option's at $3.50. And some of you know, if you take out a call option and it matures and it goes above, that's where the real money's at. So most people might have the incentive to sell at 350. If that becomes the floor and I can let this ride for another quarter of a year, holy shit. And let's say it gets up to like $4 or $5. Oh, this would be an unbelievable option. I could 3, 4, 5x my money. Easy, if not way more. But in the short term, I'd be looking at least 100% if it matures. But a little bit more. So that's B2 Gold. And on B2 Gold, if you've been following, I always am very transparent with my commodities because I want people to see how outside of crypto you can make a difference. So right now, we invested in this on Tuesday. That's not a joke. Tuesday. And B2 Gold bought at $2.68, 3,068 shares. That's up $1,472, 17.9% on my $2,222. First Majestic Silver bought at the same exact time and inspired me to buy B2 Gold after its big dump over the weekend. That was at $4.71. And now it's at $6.13. In 3 days, it's up 30%. And the $2,222 is up $667. B2 Gold, just so you know, I'm not BSing you about the dividend. It's up higher than it was earlier. 6.45%. And we talk about this a lot. I think that it's an unsung game to make a lot of gains in precious metals, but you got to be in them at the right time, and you can't be afraid to unhook and relatch on like I do in the precious metal games when it comes to commodities. When it comes to gold and silver, you're not selling that shit. Sorry. You got to look at it as if you don't even have it. To me, that money doesn't even matter. Today, 84.5 cents with the amount of silver that I own, you know, that's a good day. That's a good day. It's a good day, same with gold. So now that we've seen all that, let's go through silver, and then we'll go through First Majestic, and then we're going to get back into it. I'm not even going to look to see how many people are here, because I'm not going to get discouraged or encouraged by how many people are here, especially if they leave during the commodities part. Because I really do look forward to this part, and I'm adding it more and more each day, as you've noticed. Because I see money to be made. With silver, this is almost like a megaphone pattern. It's very similar to what Bitcoin was on. If this breaks out, we have a technical move to $35.74. The 34.37, I'm going to delete that because I want to show the technical target here. And that's what would happen. If we can clear $30.84 and start moving, that's where we're headed. And we are a little overbought here in the smaller time frames, but the daily's got plenty of room. This was a very bullish close here in the daily. And we got a lot of upside potential here. And for First Majestic, I'm not looking at after hours just where it closed today. Just like I didn't look at B2 Gold. I didn't give it credit for the other, you know, 1/3 of 1%. I'm not giving First Majestic a 0.5% here because it's just, I don't know how it's going to look on Monday. We can only go by the market close. So it's up 5.87% to $6.13. As you've seen, we bought at $4.61 on Tuesday. And it's just one of those that it did what it did, and it gave us a rare opportunity. Everybody sold because they had a massive acquisition and it went into arbitrage. So after the purchase, it makes it look like on the balance sheet that they're down a bunch of money. They took a big hit. Oh my God, they don't have as much capital on hand. So the speculative trader looked at it and said, oh shit, they took a massive hit. We're out. And they sold off. And fortunately, we haven't bought back. Well, if you've been following, but you haven't bought back since I sold at $7.70 early this year. And I was waiting for the back test. And it came. And I didn't buy it here. I wanted to see it come back around and see if it would double bottom. Which once it had this dump and the arbitrage and everything, I knew it was time to buy. I mistimed it at 468 because I mismarked it. Like a dummy, I had it down at 452 because my chart was offline by a little bit. And when it came to 462, I was waiting for a small drop. And then when I refigured it out, I'm like, oh shit. So then I bought it at 268. I think it came to 265 after that. And I came out on the live and said, it's time. We got to do this. And it's even in the title of the live. First Majestic, or AG and B2 Gold. Buy now. Buy. So now we're looking at $8.55 if this plays true. That's unavoidable. So if you think we've done anything yet, we're just beginning. And wait until they start repricing and the new price of precious metals. Oh my God. And the demand on silver, Jesus Lord. But Elon Musk announced with the new, with what's going to happen with the amount of silver he needs with the new chips. Like, come on now. We were so far ahead of this, it's going to make all of your heads blow up if you're doing what we're doing. It's that simple. Oh, I can do that. I can show the massive cup and handle on silver for sure. For sure, real quick. After all, you know, I'm just here. We're just here to shoot the shit. I have it drawn out, actually. I'm going to get rid of a lot of this stuff, okay? Because I had a lot of... This is how long I've been following silver. Actually, I'm going to keep it. See all my targets as it was going on and back and forth? Those were all support resistance along the way. Whoops. I guess that one now gets deleted. But I did a bulk of my purchase. Yeah, whatever. We don't even need all of this. It just makes a lot of noise. We'll keep the lower ones just so we can see how low it was when we were buying in those ranges. But the massive cup and handle, let me get back out there. It's a big one. It's a doozy. The handle, we're just finishing out of. But if you look at the actual big-ass cup, I didn't even tell you guys what the real target is. I just showed you the short-term target on the consolidation we're in, the short-term. If I give you the long-term consolidation target, some of you might actually jump out of the building. You might actually jump out of the building, and it could be a little bit deeper than this too. So let's just say it comes up, we break this. This is the magic line, folks. Look at this target. If this cup and handle plays out appropriately, you're talking about $93 an ounce. $93 an ounce. And I'm just talking about the $35 an ounce and getting excited. Do you know where commodities would be? Do you know where First Majestic would be if silver was at $93 an ounce? Do you have any idea how much money you would make on a couple $1,000s if that scenario plays out? And like B2 Gold, they have mined more silver this year in ounce weight than gold for the first time ever. Their newer mines are richer in silver than gold. That's an undefined act that's going on right now that most people, because it's B2 Gold, they're not accounting for the fact that their silver production's at an all-time high in weight. So if you think we're anywhere yet, remember when I said B2 Gold at 240, 260, you're going to blink and all of a sudden it's going to be at 310, 350. That's what's going to happen. And look what happened in 3 fucking days. We blinked and it went from 258 to 317, 316. How? From where we bought it at 268 on the rebuy after selling it at 289, after buying it at 242, after selling it at 313, after buying it at 228. You know, we had a long road here, but we made, and it helped me evolve. So I took that money, we profited on B2 Gold over these runs here the last couple times. Remember, I had Newmont the first time as well, did very well on. So I was able to branch out now from B2 Gold and keep the same funds and then some in B2 Gold, but add over $2,200 into now First Majestic with profits. And it's been stellar. So, speaking of stellar, XLM is up 1.83% on the day to 9.66 cents. And stellar, or XLM, or the Lumens, is close. It's very close, XLM, to having a move, a big move. I don't mean just, oh, we're coming up. We targeted 9.66 cents. Same time we talked about XRP, and now it's come up, and that's been realized. And now, if you get on top of 966, which I suspect we will this weekend, we should come back up here to 989. And if we can break out, the short target's 10.9 cents. And I did this at X marks the spot, and that would be about September 24th. If it breaks out from 989, it's going to be around 11.3. So, have joined your copy trade on HOTCOIN time, Tom. Excellent. I hope you were in the trade yesterday. Maybe you joined it just now after, but yesterday was the last trade I did, and we made 22% on a XRP trade, which was nice. But I was going to do a Gala one, but they don't have Gala on there. I tried it on my own personal one to see if it would work, and it's not part of the copy trading, so it didn't even work. So I just closed it out because I didn't have any interest of, well, it didn't. Anyhow. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to open a Gala trade, but they don't have Gala for the copy trading. But man, we're looking good. Everything's looking pretty good here. Good evening, Devin. Said, done buying my Casper, made it to 1.1 million. Holy smokes. And you know what? The good thing about when you stop buying it, we talked about this yesterday. We were attempting a breakout, and that consolidation now that we had the last few hours, over the last about 24 hours, we're now looking to have this V-shaped recovery breakout. This is where, if I'm being honest, from 1.1 cent, I mean, I'm not just saying this. This is where you could have a floor finally. We could finally have the floor at 1.15 now. It's doing what we need, and eventually we're going to have that quick move up to 0.14. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but because of how low the price is, you don't need a big move to make a big move. And that's a 20% move just to there. Now, that's just the short term. Eventually, you're going to have to even get up here. This has been a huge descending consolidation. And these are bullish consolidations. It's just we came down a little bit farther because of the little hack. But look, this created a very sneaky inverse head and shoulders. And you got to be very well trained to see it. And I hope some of you are, because you've been here long enough or you just have your own knowledge. But if you actually look at this, I think it's stellar. I think it's stellar. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, this is prototypical of what we would want in an inverse head and shoulders, and to swing around. I think that's what's going to happen, honestly. If I'm giving my own personal humble opinion, that's probably what's going to happen with Casper. So just pay attention to Casper. And then when it gets closer to the breakout of that area, we'll look at a more preferred target. But I want everybody to jump off the cliff and say, oh, this is where it's going. So I like to do it step by step with the audience. Also gives you incentive to come back on another day. 91 people watching. Beautiful. What a blessing. Only 61 likes, though, so I must not be getting this across. Only 60% of my audience, roughly 66%, is hitting that like button. No, I'd be very hopeful with Casper. I think it's a sleeping giant, and everything that's happened makes me believe it even more. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index today, believe it or not, it's dropped. It's at, well, 32 right now, or 31. Yesterday it was at 37. Last week, 29. So we dropped from yesterday, even though the price looks to be appreciating. I'm telling you, the fear in the market is making this much more bullish. Remember, I told you it's an inverse indicator. If it's going down, you buy. If it's going up, you sell. So if it's in greed, if you know nothing about the charts, you could sell. If you know nothing about the charts or anything and you see it in fear, well, that could be the time to accumulate. I'm just saying, extreme fear, you know, extreme panic, that's when you want to be in. We get back to 25-to-1 ratio, it will be super crazy with China and Tesla demand. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. See? Speaking of the old silver, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Yep, they're smart contracts. I think they're going to make. I think they're going to make it too. And we got to read this. And I hope everybody's enjoying the earlier lives. I used to do them 6:30 to 7:30. But with the school schedule, with the clock about to flip back an hour as well, it gets darker earlier. I started doing the lives around 5:15, 5:30 the last couple days this week, and I think that's how it's going to stay. Massive 342% surge in key XRP metrics stuns crypto community. XRP, a popular cryptocurrency associated with Ripple Labs, has seen a remarkable surge in one of the most crucial metrics. According to CoinGlass, the trading volume of the coin has soared 342.3% in the last 24 hours. That's a huge increase in trading volume, folks. I could have put that in my title, but I didn't want to get people to come here and FUD. The volume of XRP currently stands at a whopping 3.15 billion, reflecting the high increase in trading activity. Previously, XRP lacked investor confidence as the price continued its sideways movement. However, it appears that market sentiment is shifting and bulls are returning. And we're going to relax right now as well. So if you ever watch me, if you're new, I don't smoke cigarettes. And where I live, the old cannabis or, you know, it's legal here recreationally. So if you'd like to join, you can. If not, you know, it is what it is. My back's just a little sore from sitting here. I broke my back when I was 23 in a bad car accident. It wasn't my fault, but nonetheless, it is what it is. So previously, XRP lacked investor confidence as the price continued its sideways movement. However, it appears that market sentiment is shifting and bulls are returning. This means that bears are likely to disappear for a time being. And I put down in my title for this live, XRP, very dangerous for shorts this weekend. I put it that way for a reason. And we can already see XRP's rallied over 57 cents now since we've been on this live. This means that bears are likely to disappear for a time being, and bulls will be able to overcome the market movements. The shifting sentiment can ignite more gains from the XRP price. In addition, open interest, OI, has also jumped 5.59% to a remarkable 637.35 million. This shows an admirable rise in open positions for the coin as investors have started to show greater interest and confidence in it. The rising open interest is a crucial development for XRP, as it is expected to give a greater boost to its price. Trading with J-Ride says, sorry Tom, just got here. It's gold. Is gold going to retrace before your 2016 target? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it because we had such an engulfing candle close here. I expect it to go up there now. The technical target suggests it. We back-tested our pivot point perfectly. We back-tested the 45-year consolidation perfectly. I don't see any reason why it needs to. Now, on Sunday night, if we see something weird happening in the, you know, in the futures market, well, we can revisit it. But as of right now, I don't see a retracement. There, obviously, there could be a small one, but I don't see anything of substance, to be honest. So XRP price skyrockets amid ETF buzz. I don't know if I'd say skyrockets, but it's making a huge move as far as where it's at in psychological parts. Along with the rising trading activity and shifting market sentiment, the price of the Ripple associated coin has seen a notable surge. Over the last 24 hours, it has soared 5.33% to 56.5 cents. XRP was trading around the lows of 53.7 cents, and now we're up over 57.2 cents last we checked. At the start of today's trading session. However, it broke out of that bearish channel and claimed the next high of 56.52 cents. The surge in XRP price is mostly related in the news of the potential launch of XRP spot exchange-traded funds. Grayscale Investments, a leading asset management firm, recently announced the relaunch of its XRP trust. There is speculation that this product may inspire the launch of more XRP-based products and eventually XRP ETFs. Riding the wave of optimism, the XRP price has surged today as more gains are expected. I don't think that's what caused the price to rise. It was built into the charts. I think it was built. We called that quick, it was a quick squeeze against Bitcoin, which happened. We called that quick breakout, the unexpected breakout, which is exactly what's happening and what happened yesterday. And I didn't know that news was going to come out when I talked about it last weekend and the first couple days of this week. It was lining up on the charts. That's all. The only thing I wanted to see is I wanted to see one thing about Bitcoin real quick. Here we go. This is what I seen earlier. So Microstrategy's latest one, and what do we think about this, ladies and gentlemen, by the way? What do we think about Microstrategy's basically leveraging their whole company for this? If Bitcoin goes down, the company goes away. Microstrategy's latest 1.1 billion Bitcoin purchase is largest since 2021. What, I can't read this? Oh, this would be a shame. They're going to lose some great advertising if they don't let us read this. Ah! Well, that's fine. I'll just go. See, they want me to pay for it. I'll just go right here and read it from this person who did it for free. I mean, not so hard. Absolutely, Daniel. And I think in time the U.S. dollar currency index is going to go down to being below 80. It's going to be below 80. I guarantee it. It's just going to take some time. I'm going to let my voice rest real quick and do this.
Microstrategy acquires 18,300 Bitcoin, expands holdings. Microstrategy, a publicly traded business intelligence and software company, has announced the acquisition of approximately 18,300 Bitcoin between August 6th and September 12th. The company's Form 8-K to the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, AEC, states that the purchase, worth $1.11 billion, was made at an average price of $60,408 per Bitcoin, BTC, including expenses and fees. The firm, led by renowned CEO Michael Saylor, has continued to expand its holdings of BTC over the past 4 years after making its first purchase on August 11, 2020. Source: Michael Saylor. Related, Bitcoin bulls should steer clear of MicroStrategy's new leveraged ETF. Bitcoin holding growth. The company's recent acquisition increased its BTC holdings to approximately 244,800 BTC, currently worth around $14.14 billion. The average purchase price for MicroStrategy's BTC purchases since August 2020 is $38,585 per BTC, with a cumulative investment of around $9.45 billion. MicroStrategy's aggressive approach has sparked debate and praise from financial analysts over the years, but the firm has not slowed its acquisition of BTC-related. World's third largest public pension fund buys $34 million of MicroStrategy shares. Source of funds for the BTC purchase. The funds used to purchase this latest 18,300 BTC were raised through selling its company shares, enabled through a sales agreement with several financial institutions on August 1st. According to the SEC filing, MicroStrategy had raised approximately $1.11 billion by September 12th from selling an aggregate of 8,048,449.
Hold on. World's third largest public pension fund buys 34 million of MicroStrategy shares. The fund to use purchase this latest 18,300 Bitcoin were raised through selling its company shares. Holy fuck, anybody in that pension just got screwed. Are you reading what I'm saying? Are you seeing what just happened? 34 million came in. And I mean, what the hell were they thinking? Something fishy going on here. That pension's up for grabs. Oh my god. I hope you're not part of that. That sucks. That sucks. The funds used to purchase this latest 18,300 Bitcoin were raised through selling its company shares, enabled through a sales agreement with several financial institutions on August 1st. According to the SEC filing, and I couldn't listen to the AI anymore talk. Microstrategy had raised approximately $1.11 billion by September 12th from selling an aggregate of 8,048,449 shares under the sales agreement. The capital raised from the sale of these over 8 million shares was directly allocated to expand the firm's Bitcoin holding and increasing the size of its portfolio. On August 10th, MicroStrategy held 226,500 Bitcoin worth $13.77 billion in reserves acquired at an average price of $37,000 per Bitcoin. At the time, Bitcoin's price was approximately $60,500, and MicroStrategy had $5.39 billion in unrealized profits. Oh, imagine if Kamala Harris got taxes unrealized gains. That means they'd have to pay. And think about this. You want to know a way for, and a reason why you shouldn't vote that side, even though I don't believe in politics? She wants to put a capital gains tax on unrealized gains. That means MicroStrategies would have to come up with the unrealized tax of a tax on $5.39 billion on unrealized profits, right? So then they would have to sell that much worth of their Bitcoin and then some just to come up with the unrealized gains that they're selling that they shouldn't even have to pay. Now, how much do you think that would bankrupt Bitcoin if they had to start going down this route? And then it would compound on itself and they would end up digging a hole bigger than they can get out of. And they got to pay back because a lot of the money that they paid for Bitcoin, they pay on loans. It's on loans. So that could be a very big chute to fill if we go that road. So just think about that. Just think about that. So that was some good reading there. I thought it was some good information that everybody needed to know about MicroStrategies. XRP starting to move very nicely right now. Up over 2%. Bitcoin's up to 60,434, up 2,300 points. I'm not seeing anything that I don't want to see. We've been talking about Galen. I know somebody talked about the big W reversal, little inverse action we got going on here as well. And I absolutely agree with this analysis 100%. And I think this inverse head and shoulders is going to play up. And yesterday we targeted it up here for the first move up at about 2 cents. I think that's still firm. Came down today, consolidated just like yesterday we came down, the day before we came down a little bit. But we're pushing up now. Looks like we're finally starting to push out of here. This is the trade we would be in our copy trade, but unfortunately, because we got a firm double bottom down here at 176, and it's a W Gartley too, that kind of bottom. The way it formed, I mean, if you want to look at it that way. But, yeah, I mean, I'm looking for some big potential here if it starts to break back up. We had a big drop, but I keep it in the short term first, but there's a big pattern setting up there, absolutely. We talked about AMP. I talked about it on my morning update as well. Said it looks like it's painfully behind, and now all of a sudden it's starting to push up. In time, it should come up to 4.6, but we've got about, what is that, about 4.1 cents in between. Well, not 4.1, but, you know, 0041 and 0046, so almost a half a penny. I did not see what was put out by the SEC legal today. I wasn't really paying attention, honestly. I'm going to have to take a look. We got a couple minutes here still, honestly. I still got a couple minutes here. I can't believe it's already been 48 minutes, but, you know, time goes by when we're doing stuff. If you haven't hit the like button, please give me the solitude and grace of hitting that like button. It's the only way for me to pass my content around. It really, really is. And after I put it out, after this gets on rerun, barely anybody hits the like button, which is a damn shame. So it's up to the people who are viewing live, really, to hit that like button to try to push this. Because this will end up with 12, 1,500, 2,000 views, but it'll end up with like 200 likes by the end of this. Legal experts react as Securities and Exchange Commission regrets confusion over its crypto asset security claim. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission expresses regret for any confusion it may have created through the use of its invented term, crypto asset securities. In an interesting development, Coinbase's chief legal officer, Paul Grewal, called the public's attention to the SEC's recent effort to backtrack on its claim that crypto assets themselves constitute securities. Per Grewal, the SEC made this move in footnote 6 of the amended complaint in the Binance lawsuit. As this court noted, and as the SEC reiterates, with its use of the term crypto asset securities, the SEC is not referring to the crypto asset itself as the security. Rather, as the SEC has consistently maintained since the very first crypto asset Howey case the SEC litigated, the term is a shorthand. While helpful as a shorthand reference, the security in this case is not simply the crypto asset, which is little more than alphanumerical cryptographic sequence. Security, this case, consists of the full set of contracts, expectations, and understanding centered on the sales and distribution of the crypto asset. Nevertheless, to avoid any confusion, the PAC no longer uses the shorthand term, and the SEC regrets any confusion and may have invited, in this regard, MTD order at 1920. As the court explained, the crypto asset is the subject of the investment contract. Defendants appear to argue that even if the 10 crypto assets were offered and sold as securities during the initial coin offerings, they do not remain securities into perpetuity. The SEC is not advancing this argument. The SEC's allegations with respect to the 10 crypto assets at issue in secondary markets are that their promotions and economic realities have not changed in any meaningful way under Howey, such that they continue to be offered and sold as investment contracts. Notably, the SEC said it regrets any confusion it may have invited to repeatedly use the term crypto asset securities. So, last year, the SEC labeled 10 crypto assets Solana, Cardano, as securities in the lawsuit against Binance. A year later, the regulator requested that it wished to amend the complaint, eliminating the need for court to issue a verdict characterizing the tokens as securities. The SEC officially filed the amended motion yesterday, expressing regrets for the confusion and its use of the term crypto asset securities as created in the lawsuit. Notably, Binance is required to file a response to the SEC's motion for amendment by October 11, 2024. The world's largest exchange is expected to either consent or oppose the SEC's request. Expectedly, top legal expert reacted to the SEC's backtracking admission of its wrong usage of crypto asset securities. Grewal, who called the public's attention to the development, criticizes the SEC, questioned how Ethereum transactions were no longer classified as securities while the 10 tokens at issue in the Binance lawsuit remain under scrutiny. He asserted that the SEC might reveal the sudden change only when it takes legal action against the entity. The Coinbase CLO added that the SEC has a long history of treating tokens as securities, questioning why the regulator chose to mislead court with its recent filing. Interesting, Grewal mentioned Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderodi, in the X thread, humorously stated that the SEC's admission of wrongdoing would leave him perplexed. Reacting, Alderodi noted that the SEC admitted two things in the Binance lawsuit. First, the agency acknowledged that crypto asset security is a made-up term. Second, it requires a bundle of contracts, understanding and expectations to prove that a crypto asset security and an investment contract. He added that it is about time the Securities and Exchange Commission admitted that the agency has been a twisted pretzel of contradictions. Furthermore, prominent legal expert James Murphy, aka Metal Lawman, expressed outrage about the SEC's recent admission. The pro-XRP lawyer criticized the SEC's make-it-up-as-you-go enforcement strategy, suggesting that the approach has harmed U.S. investors, damaged the country's reputation for innovation, and harmed American companies. So, I mean, that's a stunning and staggering admission. Nothing that we didn't see coming. And it's like we said all the way back in 21, if you've been here since March when I started this channel, and beautifully enough, and something you should know, I've never missed a day being here. It's all bullshit. It was all because we're going to go into the digital era, the digital ID. When everything's digital, they take away paper money. And they had to stall in the USA, so they used Ripple because it's part of the establishment, which is why I own XRP, because I'm going to be part of what the establishment is using. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, if the big guns are using it, I'm going to load up. I'm going to supply my ammo in the same fashion. So, and like they tell you gold and silver shit, but I've watched the last 7 years central banks storing up, especially the last 2 years, at record pace. I followed along. It's not rocket science, folks. If the central banks are buying gold and silver, you as a retail investor should be buying gold and silver, because there's going to come a point where they're going to price retail out. Yes, it's easier to buy silver when it was at $15, $16, $18 when we were buying it. $20, $22. When it gets to 50 and 100, it's not going to be so easy. Yeah, even gold was terribly hard to buy, but you could break it down. It was a little easier at 16, 1700 to buy like 3.5 ounces or grams. Now imagine it's at $8, $9, $10,000. It's not going to be. They're going to price out retail very quickly, and silver is going to. I think silver is going to melt our. Not just our, it's going to melt our socks off our feet. Our faces are still going to be here, but our socks are going to dissipate. Because the amount of silver that's going to be needed for just what Elon Musk is proposing, and not just proposing, is putting into action and actual, action now. It's startling to see how little there's going to be, and how much more silver is being used in chips, and electronics, and manufacturing, and healthcare, and everything. Everything. It's unbelievable. So just sit back, relax. I got to get going here. But it's going to be a spectacular ride along the way. It really, really is. XDC is still behind. So if you feel like you've missed out on something, this inverse head and shoulders, if it plays out in perpetuity here, it's going to have no choice but to come up to 281 here in due process. Now, it could come down to 232 area, but do I suspect it to do that? Probably not. Probably not. It looks like we're creating this inverse setup. And in time, it's going to come all the way up to 4 cents. And then much, much higher. Much, much higher. It really, really is. There's so much good stuff to look at right now. So if you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, do it now. Do it now. And you might not have to trade it now, but get it set up if you haven't done it. If you ask yourself, well, how do I trade XRP in the USA? I'm going to show you how, or even abroad. This is worldwide. So if you go onto my homepage, XRP Future Millionaire, just click on my picture as you've seen me do, and you see BITUNIX plus 5 more links. You can also do this in the video description below and or pinned comments of any video. But if you click on here, and you click on this, it shows BITUNIX HOTCOIN. Those are 2 ways to buy XRP worldwide. If you're looking for, maybe a little bit less fees on the leverage side, BITUNIX is definitely the way to go. But if you're looking to copy trade me, I'm on HOTCOIN. And if you follow through HOTCOIN, click on the link, you got to deposit money into your futures account in USDT, and then go to CopyTrade and type in XRP and you'll find me, and then you can copy me. We have a $100 to $1,000 challenge that we're up from $100 to $365 approximately, so up about 265%, which is awesome. Which means if you started with 100, you'd be at 365 right now. And just do that. You don't need a VPN or KYC to use either of those 2 exchanges unless you're sending or receiving from a bank account. And honestly, I've sent off a BITUNIX multiple times because when I withdraw, and I've sent it right to Cash App, to Bitcoin, and on Venmo you can do Bitcoin, you can do Ethereum, you can do Bitcoin Cash, and there's a few others. So there's ways to get it off without ever verifying. Obviously on your Cash App and that you're gonna have to verify, but get with the times if you want to do this. And then you can send a YouTube super chat or join Tom's Army as a way to show support. But if you're against using YouTube, you can send a donation by a Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. A couple people have done that, not many, but people definitely, some do. Kryptonian more than any other. And then BLOFIN if you want a little more control. But we'll get into BLOFIN more in 2025. I'm letting them work out their stuff. But literally, that's something we're going to have to really talk about a little bit more going into 25. That's something we are really going to have to talk about in 25, just so we know. But they're getting their act together as far as the upgrades and the user ability. Their act's already together, but the AI interface is getting stronger every month. And by 25, I'm confident we can start talking about this. Closing in on our 5,000th video, which is unreal. That's scary that I've put out that many videos and that people still watch. So with that being said, I call this a good night. I say thank you all so much for tuning in, and it means a lot to me. It really does mean a lot. If you want to talk a little bit more, follow me on Facebook at XRP Future Millionaire, as I do put on, little photos and little things that don't do well on YouTube. I'm fully monetized on there for some reason now. We got over 4,200 followers. They're almost 4,300 now. And I just share my YouTube content. But now I've also been putting out, like, I'll share, like, what I just talked to you guys about with what the SEC did and then the trading volume and all that good stuff. I'll put it out and then I'll put it in the comments so that people can see it there as well. So make sure you follow me over there as well. Have a blessed evening, everybody. And Julie, don't ruin DJW. We're going.